It's time now for our morning mix. The Washington Commanders got off to a good start with new QB Carson Wentz. Wentz threw a couple of interceptions in his Washington debut, but he also threw 4 touchdowns. That catch was amazing. That is rookie receiver Jahan Dotson reaching around the defender. Final score was 28-22 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Washington will look to improve to 2-0 when they face Detroit next Sunday. So the Commander era has started, and they started off with a win. It's like so many of the other games yesterday. It was such like discrepancy in scores, and then most of the games were decided by like a score or two. But Washington was able to hold on.
I feel like you were doing highlights again.
Like that?
You're bringing back your old
Missed
sports
those
anchor
little
days.
parts. What else can I tell you?
catch.
Jacksonville threw an interception towards the end of the game, which secured the win for Washington. There you go.
I love it. All right, now sticking with sports, keep that sports hat on, Kristen. We're going to move over to tennis, though, where history was made at the U.S. Open on Sunday. Carlos Alcaraz, who beat Francis Tiafoe on Friday, won tennis's final Grand Slam of the season. Alcaraz won on Sunday in 4 sets over Casper Ruud, and he became the first he's a teenager, to win a major men's tournament since Rafael Nadal. And at 19, Kristen, he becomes the youngest ever male tennis player to be ranked #1 in the world.
It's incredible. And youngest to win the U.S. Open since Pete Sampras in 1990. And we saw what kind of a star Pete Sampras was. I mean, this kid, there was so much talk about Francis Tiafoe and him having a rivalry like going forward. These are 2 rising stars in tennis. And for 19-year-olds, you could see just the emotion and feel the joy.
Well, I feel happy because, of course, we're all rooting here for Francis Tiafoe, our hometown guy, that then the man who beat him goes on to win the whole thing. It just feels a little bit better when that
give you a little consolidation when it comes to that. But congratulations. It's going to be fun to watch these rising stars in tennis.
They're not done.
All right, switch it over to baseball now.
Oh, geez. Another sports one?
Kind of. A woman at the A's White Sox game in California. She knew her priorities. Take a look. She made a barehanded catch and didn't even spill her beer. Of course, got to have a little chug after that. I had to celebrate. The rest of her beer is gone as the crowd cheered her on. Check it out. Ready?
Yeah, she catches it barehanded.
Ouch.
I wonder if it really hurt.
That has to hurt afterwards. She's
Probably
just
why
like,
she chugged the beer.
It hasn't sunk in yet. The adrenaline's still going.
I've been seeing so many. You know, we saw the one last week where the player was throwing to the young girls on the sideline, then the man took over, stepped in front of him and stole it. Now I saw this weekend a lot where adults were catching the balls and giving it to young children. I feel like the karma was better this weekend for catching foul balls.
I did see one announcer, it was a Sky announcer, so for New York, he caught there wasn't that many people in the stands. He picked up a foul ball, and then all the adults swarmed him. It was like, hey man, you got to give that to us. I've never caught a foul ball. And then he finally gave it to a young kid.
Gave it to a child.
But in that instance, adults were not acting like adults.
No, I think they forget it. When they go in the ballpark, they're a young kid again.
Baseball.
In their minds. All right, lastly, we also want to talk about Princeton University this morning because they say you can now go there for free. Of course, there is a catch. When you hear free, there's a catch. It is only if your family earns less than $100,000 a year. The Ivy League school says the new financial aid program will affect about 1/4 of the undergraduate student body. It's significant. Also, under the new policies, more scholarship funding will go to families earning less than $150,000 a year. This will all take effect next fall, so it's fall of 2023. Before, it sounded like anyone under $65,000 a year would be able to get free tuition, but when you think about that, with our inflation, that hardly covers anything if it's $65,000 for your full income.
Right. And think you can go to an Ivy League school for free, so that hopefully will motivate kids to really be like, you know what? I can work hard and I can say I went to an Ivy League and not leave with a whole bunch of debt.
Even give it a shot. It sounds like it's $80,000 a year, according to their website,
for tuition. College.
$80,000.
Don't let me think about college tuition this year.
You have 2 coming up.
Oh my goodness. All right, great job, Princeton. We like that.